Have you ever stopped to wonder about the mysterious inner workings of the human mind? The human mind is a complex system that has puzzled scientists and philosophers for centuries. It is the driving force behind our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. But what exactly is the human mind, and how does it work? In this video, we'll explore the scientific history of the human mind and delve into its various components. We'll be breaking it down into 8 sections and covering as much as we can in this fascinating topic. This is going to be a longer video today. So grab a coffee, sit back and relax as we delve into the human mind. Get ready to have your mind blown. For centuries, scientists and philosophers have sought to understand the human mind. Ancient Greeks believed that the mind was located in the heart, while early Chinese philosophers believed it resided in the lungs. It wasn't until the 17th century that the French philosopher René Descartes proposed that the mind and body were separate entities, and that the mind was located in the brain. This theory was later supported by advancements in neuroscience, which revealed the intricate workings of the brain. So as you see, the scientific study of the human mind dates back centuries, and has been shaped by countless scientists and researchers throughout history. Some of the earliest known studies of the mind were conducted by philosophers such as Aristotle, who proposed theories on how the mind processes information and how it relates to the body. In the 19th century, the field of psychology began to take shape as a distinct scientific discipline, thanks in part to the pioneering work of researchers like Wilhelm Wundt, who established the first experimental psychology laboratory in 1879. Over the following decades, the study of the mind continued to evolve and expand, with breakthroughs in areas such as perception, memory, and language. Today, the field of neuroscience has enabled us to gain even deeper insights into the workings of the brain and the mind, and to explore topics such as consciousness, decision-making, and emotions in unprecedented detail. Despite all the progress we've made, there is still so much we don't know about the human mind. But as we continue to explore and discover, we can be inspired by the words of the great psychologist and philosopher William James, who once said, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." So let's continue to choose thoughts of curiosity, wonder, and inspiration as we delve deeper into the mysteries of the human mind. Who knows what new discoveries and insights await us in the years and decades to come? Part 1. Consciousness. Consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the human mind that has puzzled scientists and philosophers for centuries. Despite being one of the most essential aspects of human existence, the mechanisms behind consciousness remain a mystery to this day. However, recent advancements in neuroscience and psychology have shed some light on how consciousness works. One of the most popular theories of consciousness is the global workspace model, which proposes that consciousness arises when information is integrated into a global workspace in the brain. According to this theory, different areas of the brain are responsible for processing specific information, such as visual or auditory input. However, when information is integrated into the global workspace, it becomes accessible to a wider range of cognitive processes, such as attention and decision-making. Another theory of consciousness is the integrated information theory, which proposes that consciousness arises when the brain integrates information in a way that is irreducible to its individual parts. This theory suggests that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, much like space and time. Despite the progress made in understanding consciousness, many questions remain unanswered. For example, how does the brain integrate information into the global workspace? And what are the neural correlates of consciousness? Neural correlates of consciousness are the parts of the brain that scientists believe are important for creating our awareness and experiences. of the world around us. They are like the parts of a machine that are needed to make it work. Scientists are still trying to figure out exactly which parts of the brain are the most important for creating consciousness. To address these questions, scientists have turned to various experimental techniques, such as fMRI and EEG. One recent study published in the journal Nature Communications used fMRI to investigate the neural correlates of consciousness. The study found that when participants were conscious of a visual stimulus, there was increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in executive functions such as attention and decision-making. However, when participants were not conscious of the stimulus, there was increased activity in the parietal cortex, which is involved in sensory processing. Another study published in the journal Neuron used EEG to investigate the neural dynamics of consciousness. The study found that when participants were conscious of a visual stimulus, there was increased synchronization of neural activity across multiple brain regions. However, when participants were not conscious of the stimulus, there was little synchronization of neural activity. These studies suggest that consciousness is a complex and dynamic process that involves the integration of information across multiple brain regions. As Carl Sagan once said, the brain is like a complex orchestra, with different areas responsible for different functions. But when all the parts come together, the result is the symphony of consciousness. In some spiritual traditions, such as Advaita Vedanta, Zen Buddhism, and Taoism, there is the idea that consciousness exists outside of the body and that humans are all one is known as the theory of non-dual consciousness, or non-dualism. Non-dualism is a spiritual philosophy that suggests that there is only one ultimate reality, and that all seemingly separate beings and objects are ultimately interconnected and part of the same whole. This philosophy posits that human consciousness is not limited to the physical body, but rather exists beyond it and is fundamentally connected to the universal consciousness or spirit. Proponents of non-dualism argue that the belief in separation and individuality is a delusion that causes suffering, and that realizing our interconnectedness can lead to greater peace and harmony. Although non-dualism is not supported by scientific evidence, it is a fascinating philosophical idea. Despite the progress made in understanding consciousness, many questions remain unanswered. However, the study of consciousness continues to be a fascinating and fruitful area of research, with the potential to shed light on some of the most profound mysteries of the human mind. Part 2. Perception. Perception is another essential aspect of the human mind that has captivated scientists and philosophers for centuries. Perception refers to the way that we interpret and make sense of sensory information from the world around us, such as what we see, hear, touch, and smell. One of the most fascinating aspects of perception is how it can be influenced by our expectations and prior experiences. For example, a classic study known as the McGurk effect demonstrated how our visual perception can override our auditory perception. In the study, participants watched a video of a person mouthing the syllables ga while hearing the syllables ba played over headphones. Surprisingly, many participants reported hearing a third syllable, da, which is a fusion of the two syllables. This phenomenon occurs because our brains rely on both auditory and visual information to perceive speech, and when the two senses conflict, our brains prioritize the visual information. Another fascinating aspect of perception is how it can be manipulated by illusions. Illusions are visual or auditory stimuli that create a false perception of reality, such as the famous rotating snakes illusion, which creates the perception of movement in static images. These illusions occur because our brains rely on heuristics, or mental shortcuts, to interpret sensory information. However, these heuristics can sometimes lead to errors in perception, such as in the case of illusions. To understand the mechanisms behind perception, scientists have turned to various experimental techniques, such as neuroimaging and psychophysics. One recent study published in the journal Science used fMRI to investigate the neural correlates of visual perception. The study found that when participants viewed ambiguous visual stimuli, such as the Necker cube, there was increased activity in the prefrontal cortex and the parietal cortex, which are involved in higher-level cognitive processes such as attention and decision-making. Another study published in the journal Nature used psychophysics to investigate the mechanisms behind auditory perception. The study found that when participants listened to speech in noisy environments, their brains filtered out irrelevant information to enhance the signal-to-noise ratio. This phenomenon occurs because our brains are constantly making predictions about the sensory information that we will encounter, and use these predictions to guide our perception. These studies suggest that perception is a complex and dynamic process that involves the integration of sensory information with prior experiences and expectations. The study of perception continues to be a fascinating area of research, with the potential to shed light on some of the most profound mysteries of the human mind. We are constantly changing our minds, revising our judgments, and reconsidering our impressions, as we are constantly taking in new sensory information from the world around us. Perception is not a static process, but a dynamic one that is constantly adapting to new situations and stimuli. Renowned cognitive psychologist, Jerome Bruner. Part 3. Attention. Attention is a fundamental aspect of the human mind that allows us to focus on relevant information and filter out distractions. Without attention, our perception and cognition would be overwhelmed by the vast amount of sensory information that bombards us every moment. The study of attention has revealed that it is a complex process that involves multiple brain regions and mechanisms. For example, research has shown that the prefrontal cortex plays a critical role in executive attention, which involves the ability to control our attention and selectively focus on relevant information. One fascinating aspect of attention is its flexibility and capacity. For example, studies have shown that attention can be trained and improved through practice, such as in the case of attentional control training. Additionally, attention can be directed to multiple stimuli simultaneously, such as in the case of divided attention. Recent research has also explored the relationship between attention and other cognitive processes, such as perception and memory. For example, studies have shown that attention can enhance the processing of visual information and improve memory encoding. Additionally, attention can also influence emotional processing, such as in the case of attention bias towards threatening stimuli in individuals with anxiety disorders. An interesting quote related to human attention comes from the psychologist William James, who famously said, "Everyone knows what attention is. It is the taking possession by the mind, in clear and vivid form, of one out of what seem several simultaneously possible objects or trains of thought. Focalization, concentration, of consciousness are of its essence." Overall, the study of attention continues to reveal new insights into the complex workings of the human mind, and has implications for a wide range of fields, from education to neuroscience. Part 4. Memory. Memory is an essential component of the human mind, allowing us to store and retrieve information from past experiences. The study of memory has revealed that it is a complex and dynamic process that involves multiple brain regions and mechanisms. One of the key concepts in the study of memory is the distinction between different types of memory, such as short-term memory, long-term memory, and working memory. Short-term memory involves the temporary storage and manipulation of information, while long-term memory involves the more permanent storage of information over time. Working memory, on the other hand, involves the active manipulation and processing of information in the moment. Research has shown that memory involves a complex interplay between encoding, storage, and retrieval processes. Encoding refers to the initial processing of information, while storage involves the retention of that information over time. Retrieval, on the other hand, involves the process of accessing stored information when needed. One prominent theory of memory is the multi-store model, which proposes that memory involves separate sensory, short-term, and long-term memory stores, with different mechanisms and capacities for each. Another theory, the levels of processing model, suggests that memory storage and retrieval depend on the depth of processing and encoding of the information. Studies on memory have revealed fascinating findings of the workings of the human mind. For example, research has shown that memories are not always accurate or reliable, and can be influenced by factors such as emotion and context. Additionally, research has shown that the process of retrieval can enhance memory, such as in the case of the testing effect, where testing oneself on information leads to better retention than simply rereading the information. Another interesting study related to memory is the phenomenon of false memories, where individuals may remember events or details that did not actually occur. This has been demonstrated in various experiments, such as the classic misinformation effect study by Elizabeth Loftus. An interesting quote related to human memory comes from the psychologist Daniel Shatter, who famously said, "Memory is not a videotape that preserves our experiences intact, but a dynamic system that adapts to our current purposes and knowledge." This quote highlights the dynamic and adaptive nature of memory, and the role of context and meaning in shaping our memories. Overall, the study of memory continues to reveal new insights into the complex workings of the human mind, and has implications for a wide range of fields, from education to psychology. Part 5. Language. Language is a fundamental aspect of human communication, allowing us to express our thoughts, feelings, and ideas to others. The study of language has revealed that it involves complex cognitive and neural processes, and is a unique feature of human cognition. One prominent theory of language is the nativist theory, which suggests that humans have an innate capacity for language, and that the structure and grammar of language are pre-wired into the human brain. Another theory, the social interactionist theory, emphasizes the role of social and cultural factors in shaping language development and use. Research on language has revealed fascinating insights into the workings of the human mind. For example, studies have shown that language processing involves multiple regions of the brain, such as the Broca's and Wernicke's areas, which are involved in language production and comprehension, respectively. Additionally, research has shown that language use is influenced by factors such as context, intention, and social norms. One interesting study related to language is the phenomenon of linguistic relativity, which suggests that the language we use can influence the way we perceive and think about the world. This has been demonstrated in various experiments, such as the classic color naming study by Berlin and Kay, which showed that the basic color terms used in a language can affect color perception and categorization. Another fascinating study related to language is the role of bilingualism in cognitive development. Research has shown that bilingualism can have positive effects on cognitive abilities such as attention, memory, and problem solving, and may even delay the onset of cognitive decline in old age. An interesting quote related to human language comes from the linguist Noam Chomsky, who famously said, "Language is a process of free creation, its laws and principles are fixed, but the manner in which the principles of generation are used is free and infinitely varied." This quote highlights the creative and dynamic nature of language, and the infinite possibilities for expression and communication that it offers. Overall, the study of language continues to reveal new insights into the complex workings of the human mind, and has implications for a wide range of fields, from education to linguistics. Part 6. Problem solving. Problem solving is a crucial aspect of human cognition, allowing us to overcome challenges and find solutions to complex issues. The study of problem solving has revealed that it involves a range of cognitive processes, including attention, memory, reasoning, and decision-making. One theory of problem solving is the problem space theory, which suggests that when faced with a problem, humans mentally construct a problem space, which consists of the initial state, the goal state, and the set of possible actions that can be taken to move from the initial to the goal state. Research on problem solving has revealed fascinating insights into the workings of the human mind. For example, studies have shown that problem solving can be influenced by factors such as motivation, creativity, and expertise. Additionally, research has shown that problem solving can be improved through training and practice, and that different problem solving strategies may be more effective for different types of problems. One interesting study related to problem solving is the phenomenon of insight, which is the sudden realization of a solution to a problem. Research has shown that insight is associated with a distinct pattern of brain activity, and that it can be facilitated by factors such as relaxation and positive mood. Another fascinating study related to problem solving is the role of analogical reasoning in creativity. Analogical reasoning involves drawing connections between seemingly unrelated concepts or situations, and has been shown to be a key aspect of creative problem solving. An intriguing quote related to human problem solving comes from the philosopher and mathematician Bertrand Russell, who said, "To be able to concentrate for a considerable time is essential to difficult achievement." This quote highlights the importance of sustained focus and concentration in problem solving, and the need to overcome distractions and other obstacles in order to achieve success. Overall, the study of problem solving continues to reveal new insights into the complex workings of the human mind, and has implications for a wide range of fields, from education to psychology. Part 7. Decision-making. Decision-making is a fundamental aspect of human cognition, allowing us to make choices and take actions based on the information available to us. However, decision-making can be a complex and challenging process, influenced by a range of cognitive and emotional factors. Scientists have proposed several theories of decision-making, including the rational decision-making model and the prospect theory. The rational decision-making model suggests that humans make decisions by weighing the costs and benefits of each option, and choosing the one with the highest expected utility. In contrast, the prospect theory suggests that humans make decisions based on subjective evaluations of gains and losses, and are influenced by factors such as the framing of the decision and the reference point used for comparison. Research on decision-making has revealed fascinating insights into the cognitive and emotional processes involved. For example, studies have shown that decision-making can be influenced by factors such as emotions, biases, and heuristics. Additionally, research has shown that people tend to be overconfident in their decision-making abilities, and that this can lead to errors and suboptimal choices. One interesting study related to decision-making is the phenomenon of decision fatigue, which is the idea that making repeated decisions can deplete our cognitive resources and impair subsequent decision-making abilities. This has implications for fields such as business and politics, where decision-makers may be faced with a high volume of choices. Another fascinating study related to decision-making is the role of social influence, such as peer pressure, on decision-making. Research has shown that people are often influenced by the opinions and behaviors of those around them, and that this can lead to conformity and groupthink. An interesting quote related to human decision-making comes from the psychologist and Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman, who said, "We are confident when the story we tell ourselves comes easily to mind, with no contradiction and no competing scenario." This quote highlights the role of cognitive biases and heuristics in decision-making, and the importance of considering multiple perspectives and potential outcomes when making choices. Overall, the study of decision-making is a complex and fascinating area of research, with implications for a wide range of fields, from economics to politics to psychology. Understanding the cognitive and emotional processes involved in decision-making can help us make better choices and navigate the complex world around us. Part 8. Emotions. Emotions are a complex and essential aspect of the human mind, and they have been studied extensively by scientists over the years. Emotions can be described as a state of mind that is characterized by feelings, thoughts, physiological changes, and behavioral reactions. There are a vast array of emotions that humans experience, including happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and love, just to name a few. Scientists believe that emotions are processed in various areas of the brain, including the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. One theory that has gained significant attention is the somatic marker hypothesis, which suggests that emotions are influenced by physiological responses to events. In other words, when an individual experiences a particular emotion, there is a corresponding physiological response that reinforces that emotion. One study that provides support for the somatic marker hypothesis was conducted by Antonio Damasio and his colleagues. They studied individuals who had damage to their prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotion regulation. The researchers found that individuals with this damage had difficulty making decisions, indicating that emotions play a critical role in decision-making processes. Another study conducted by James Gross and his colleagues investigated the relationship between emotions and regulation. They found that individuals who were better at regulating their emotions had better psychological and physical health outcomes. Words of Maya Angelou: "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." This quote highlights the significance of emotions in our lives and how they shape our experiences and memories. In conclusion, emotions are a fundamental aspect of the human mind that influence our decision-making processes, our ability to regulate our emotions, and our overall health and well-being. Understanding the mechanisms behind emotions can help us better understand ourselves and others, leading to more meaningful connections and interactions. As we've explored throughout this video, the human mind is a complex and fascinating topic. From consciousness to decision-making, the different aspects of our minds work together in intricate ways to shape our experiences and perceptions of the world. While there is still much to learn about the human mind, what we do know is truly awe-inspiring. The fact that we can perceive, think, feel, and create is a testament to the incredible power of the human brain. By learning more about how our minds work, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and others, and work towards improving our lives and the world around us. So the next time you're marveling at a work of art, solving a difficult problem, or simply enjoying a moment of happiness, remember that it's all thanks to the incredible workings of your mind. Philosopher and psychologist William James once said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes." So let's keep exploring and discovering the wonders of the human mind, and use that knowledge to shape a brighter future for ourselves and for humanity. Thanks for watching.